Да, не знаю, если надо посмотреть, если получится. Мы будем петь на девочки сейчас. Да.
Hare Krishna.
Hey, Krishna.
Heartfelt willkommen, herzliches Willkommen hier im Krishna-Tempel Zürich. Jemand, der kein Englisch versteht, gerade hier? Sonst würde ich ganz kurz eine Ansage auf Englisch machen. Just for those of you who are here for the first time, that you quickly get an input of what's going to happen here today. Right now we'll have a class, a lecture, and then after this, at 5 o'clock, there will be a very delicious vegetarian meal prepared for you, Krishna Prasadam. At 6:15, there will be a mantra meditation workshop, and after at 7, there will be a temple ceremony. And then from 8 to 9:30, there will be more kirtan, like what we just did now, mantra singing together, and it's a very, very nice way to end the day. And now we're going to hear from His Grace Damodar Prashapu. I guess most of you know him. already, if I look around. So he's our temple president here in the Krishna temple in Zurich for the past 3 years. He's been holding this service, this position, and before that he has joined the Krishna consciousness movement in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. 15, yeah. So we're coming close to the 10 years that he's been practicing this path of Bhakti Yoga, and he's a disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Druva Maharaj, whom he also had the good fortune of traveling around the world with, serving him intimately. And so we're very happy, of course, that he's with us and that he's leading the congregation at the temple so nicely. And without further ado, I'd like to hand over the word to you. And we're going to hear about the secret of success. Hare Krishna. Gibt es jemanden, der eine Übersetzung bräuchte ins Deutsche? Okay, then just one last request. If you can all come closer. The closer the better. It's very nice if we create some intimate atmosphere also for the speaker, and so the Shabda Praman can really enter our ears.
Hare Krishna. We chant Radha Maharaj. For those who anyone here for the first time? I guess today nobody dared to come because of this cycling race. We sing this song, and yeah, now dusk is coming. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna.
Hey,
Hare Krishna. So thank you all for coming today. And thank you for giving the opportunity to speak something. So we usually have the custom in this temple that we send out the newsletter every month. And we also announce the Sunday program, lecture, and then we have to choose a topic. And we try to have some catchy title so that people feel it's something relevant for them. So back then I decided to speak about the secret of success. And we will speak about this topic, success, from the viewpoint of the Vedic script. So there's different viewpoints we can have. And I remember around 10 years ago, someone gifted me a book called The Secret. And what was it? Did you sell it in the shop? You used it? I had So The Secret is a bestseller book. And when I read it, I was quite intrigued. But basically, it's the secret of success. It tells you can achieve anything. It basically tells that you can achieve everything that you want. All you have to do is, what they call today also the manifestation theory. On YouTube you find many videos, people explain to you how you can manifest things in your life. Manifestation. You doing that? You doing that?
I guess we're all doing this also subconsciously.
Yes. But do you do it consciously?
Not sure.
Not sure. I'm asking because I don't do it. And this theory that you can achieve anything you want, when we look at it from a Vedic perspective, when we say Vedic perspective, we speak about the wisdom text from ancient India, then we can definitely say there is some truth to it, but it's not the full reality. And the reason for that is that in the Vedic scriptures there is a big emphasis on karma, the law of action and reaction. And actually, according to the scriptures, we all have a karma in this life which cannot really be changed much. So we have it's said that when we take birth, it's already decided how much happiness and how much distress we have. Srila Prabhupada, he gives this example which I find very interesting. He says, to make this point, that you cannot get more happiness in this life by your own endeavors than what is destined for you. And he gives the example of how in our Western modern world we see, he's giving this one example of health. So he says we're building a lot of hospitals, a lot of healthcare. We're trying very much to improve that, but then what we see, people are getting sick. There's many diseases. And he's making the point that even though we are endeavoring as human beings, we cannot counteract the reaction which is coming by material nature. So that sounds a little bit maybe depressive, no? When we hear that, oh, it's fixed, I cannot really do much. But it's a whole topic in itself, but today we speak about, I will read one verse from our scriptures. And many who study the scriptures, they know this verse, it's a famous one. And it basically gives the secret of success. And those who like, they can also chant the verse. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoi. You like to chant? So I'm going to read the translation here. Or maybe we can do the words for translation together. Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha, Sadhu Sangha. Association with pure devotees. Association with pure devotees. Sarva Shastre. Sarva Shastre. All the revealed scriptures. All the revealed scriptures. Kaya. Kaya. Say. Say. Lava Matra. Lava Matra. Even for a moment. Even for a moment. Sadhu Sangha. Sadhu Sangha. By association with the devotee. By association with the devotee. Sarva Siddhi. Sarva Siddhi. All success. All success. Hoya. Hoya. There is. There is. So the translation, the verdict of all revealed scriptures is that by even a moment's association with a pure devotee, one can attain all success. So I guess it's simple to understand. What they say here is that just if you spend one moment with a sadhu, and here it's translated as the pure devotee, and we'll try to speak a little bit about what is a sadhu also. If you have even a moment of association with a pure devotee, you can reach all perfection, sarvasiddhi. And I'm also reading the purport. The purport is one sentence, and it says, according to astronomical calculations, a lava, matra lava means this moment, is 1/11 of a second. So very tiny time fraction, just 1/11 of a second. So in this verse it says the verdict of all revealed scriptures, Sarva Shastra Koi, meaning in all the scriptures, the Vedic scriptures, we find this statement that the Sadhu Sangha, the association with the holy person, is actually giving you all success. And we would like to speak from the Srimad Bhagavatam a bit. We will take one section of the Srimad Bhagavatam in the 4th canto, the story of Druva. And in the story of Druva, we see how Druva, he achieved not only material perfection and success, but also spiritual success and perfection. And we will try to focus on 3 main points. And these 3 points are different stages of Sadhu Sangha. And I hope it will be relevant for everyone, because we are in a different stage. Maybe we didn't have so much Sadhu Sangha. Maybe we're having Sadhu Sangha, but it's kind of a new thing for us. And maybe we had a lot of Sadhu Sangha, but we still not reached the perfection. So we try to go like this. The story of Druva in the Bhagavatam is very interesting. Druva is a prince, and in a very young age, in the age of 5, he has a big crisis in life, because even though he's a prince, he has we can say, good karma. His father is the king, and actually as the king, he's very powerful, very wealthy, but there is no scarcity for him. But there is one problem in his life, that Druva has a brother. And the brother of Druva is his stepbrother. He is the favorite of his father, and Druva himself is not the favorite. So sometimes we know, also we in our life, and we make some distinction. We treat somebody better and somebody else maybe less. And this father of Druva, Uttanapad, he was favoring Uttama, his stepbrother, because the mother of Uttama, she was his favorite wife. So he had 2 wives. We know in Indian culture, there used to be polygamy. And he had 2 wives, Suruchi and Srimati. Suruchi being the mother of Uttama. And she was younger, probably more beautiful. And he felt more attracted to her. And that's why he was favoring Uttama. And there was one incident specifically where Uttanapad, he was sitting on the throne, and Uttama was sitting on the lap of Uttanapad, like a child does with his father. And Druva came in and he saw that, and he also wanted to climb onto the lap of Uttanapad. And next to Uttanapad there was Suruchi, the wife of Uttama, and when she saw that, she started to chastise Druva. She told, what you're trying to do is not proper, because you're not meant to sit on the lap of the king of your father. Only my son should sit there. And if you want to sit, then you have to take birth again in my womb. And if you then take birth, then you can sit. Very cruel. Druva was 5 years old at the time, and when he heard this word, he was so pained. But even though Srimati was so cruel, she gave him some very valuable advice. She told him, if you want to at all reach that stage or that position, sitting on the lap of your father, being the prince, basically the one who will succeed the throne, then you should go and worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because He's the Lord and He can fulfill every desire. Druva went to his mother Srimati, and Srimati told Druva that actually what she said is very cruel, but she's right. You should worship the Lord. And she instructed him, you go to the forest, because there you can meet the Lord, and then you will be able to ask Him for a benediction. You can ask Him to make you a powerful king. And even though Druva was 5 years old, he was so determined that he left home and went out to the forest. How old are you? Druva was 3 years younger than me. And he went to the forest alone. Can you imagine? And when Druva went to the forest, there was one sage, we all know the sage Narada Muni, who just by intuition, let's call it intuition for now, he realized what's happening. Druva is going to the forest. And he decided, let me appear and speak to Druva. And the question here which comes, how is it possible that Narada Muni knew about this? Narada Muni is a sadhu, he's a pure devotee, and Srila Prabhupada, he explains how this happens in the purport. He says the answer is that Narada is Trikala Jnana. He's so powerful that he can understand the past, future, and present of everyone's heart, just like the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, after understanding the strong determination of Druva Maharaj, Narada came to help him. It may be explained in this way. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is present in everyone's heart. And as soon as he understands that a living entity is serious about entering devotional service, he sends his representative. In this way, Narada was sent to Druva Maharaj. This is explained in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bija. By the grace of the spiritual master and Krishna, one can enter into devotional service. Because of Druva Maharaj's determination, Krishna, the Super Soul, immediately sent his representative Narada to initiate him. In simple words, we all have the Lord in our heart. God is sitting in our heart, and He can direct anyone else to come and help you if you need help. So specifically, when you want to worship the Lord, then He will send someone. And there's many examples also in the scriptures how holy people, sadhus, they go to help someone. And they have kind of some internal communication system. Like we have now WhatsApp, which is very advanced. We have some gadget and I can call anyone in India or any part of the world. But that time, these sadhus, they didn't need a smartphone. They were connected in the heart. And one story is of King Parikshit, who was a king around 5,000 years ago. He was cursed by someone that he should die within 7 days. And when he got to know that, he decided that now is the time to prepare for death. And he left home, similar to Druva Maharaj, he left home, he just took some very simple cloth, and he decided, I'm going to fast, I'm not going to eat, I'm not going to drink, and I'm going to a place, a holy place, and just sit down. and focus my mind on the Supreme Lord. And what happened? And who else? All the sages came. Actually, it said hundreds and thousands of sages came just because the Lord told them in the heart that Parikshit, my dear devotee, he is about to leave his body, so you go there and help. So a big assembly of sages came together. And Shukadev Goswami, of course, he was then the one who got the Vyasa son and started to speak to him. Also we find in Chaitanya Charitamrita how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wanted to go from Puri to Vrindavan. But instead of going a direct route to Vrindavan, he took a big roundabout and he went to one place called Ramkeli. Why? Because in Ramkeli there were two devotees, two personalities who were very desperate. They wanted to become spiritually advanced. So Mahaprabhu, he knew that, and he himself went. Which shows that the sadhu is willing to take trouble on himself just to go to a person and uplift the person. And there is also one example in Prabhupada's life. Prabhupada, he tried to go to all places in the world and spread Krishna consciousness. And he also tried to go to places which were difficult to go to, like at that time, what was the name of Russia? Soviet Union. It was a communist state, you were not allowed to go. But Srila Prabhupada anyway managed to go somehow, and they had a very limited time they could spend and a specific visa. And Srila Prabhupada went with one of his disciples, and this disciple, just one time when he went out of the hotel room, he bumped into one young man. And when this young man I think he tried to distribute a book to him or something, I'm not quite sure anymore, but it just turned out that this boy was very much interested in yoga and meditation, and he was actually looking for Vedic scriptures and for a guru. And Shyam Sundar immediately took him into the hotel room, and this boy sat down, and Prabhupada spoke to him for many hours and explained everything to him. Which shows that also the sadhu is not only particularly going to a place if he has some mission, a particular mission, but he goes anywhere and whoever comes can come. Like Starbucks, they go anywhere and everybody can come. They don't care if it's this country, that country, because there's customers everywhere. But the question is, how is one qualified? Because we see, even though we all have so many desires, we want to be successful, not everybody gets the opportunity to associate with the sadhu. So what's the qualification for this? And in the Bhagavad Gita we find the explanation, what's the qualification. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukrito norjino artho jigyasvarartharti jnanicha paratarshava. This verse says, O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me: the distressed, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. So Srila Prabhupada explains in the purport, I'm going to read a bit. These are adherents of regulative principles of the scriptures, and they are called Sukritina, or those who obey the rules and regulations of scriptures. The moral and social laws and are more or less devoted to the Supreme Lord. Out of these there are 4 classes of men. Those who are sometimes distressed, those who are in need of money, those who are sometimes inquisitive, and those who are sometimes searching after knowledge of the absolute truth. These persons come to the Supreme Lord for devotional service under different conditions. Everybody has desires, everybody wants to achieve something, but only a few turn to the Supreme Lord for his help. And the reason for this is because you need this qualification of Sukriti. You need some piety. There's different kinds of piety, but mainly it means that those people who are willing to lead a life of moral and ethical conduct. Sukriti is something we collect in our existence in this world over lifetimes. It's like a bank account, and if you have enough Sukriti, then actually you get the mercy of meeting a sadhu. I was just thinking also today, on one hand I was a little bit upset to know about this whole race because it was very loud today. But then I was thinking these athletes are very fortunate actually because they make a lot of Agyata Sukriti. In our tradition we have this practice of parikrama. Parikrama means you are circumambulating the Lord or the holy place or the temple. And they are doing it, I think, 7 times today, which is also very auspicious. And it's a fact from our scriptures, we understand this is Agyata Sukriti. So in the future, they will be benefited from that spiritually. So that is what we need to collect in our life. And it's also interesting to see how we should give Sukriti to others. You know, sometimes we devotees, we go out on the street, we distribute books, we chant, and people might wonder, you know, even we sometimes wonder, is it not a bit pushy and all that? But our understanding is somebody who receives a book which is pure, meaning it doesn't have anything to do with selfish sense enjoyment, but only with devotion to the Lord. That is Sukriti. If somebody, even Prabhupada said, if somebody touches the book or sees the book, he will have a benefit. So that's the qualification. So Narada Muni, he appeared on the scene and he started to tell Druva, Druva, you're a 5-year-old boy. Come on, you know, are you serious? What's your name? Advika. If Advika would tell me now that she will go to the forest to perform austerities to meet the Supreme Lord, I would probably say, I don't think you should do that. Better you come to the temple, take prasadam, chant Hare Krishna, worship the deities. So Narada Muni, he told Dhruva, you're a young boy. Go home, you worship the Lord at home, and once you're older, you can perform some austerities. But now is not the time. He was preaching to him. And Srila Prabhupada explains why he's doing that. The process of Bhakti Yoga is simultaneously very difficult and very easy to perform. Sri Narada Muni, the spiritual master, is testing Druva Maharaj to see how determined he is to prosecute devotional service. This is the process of accepting a disciple. So now we're speaking about how we can attract the sadhu in our life, but maybe the sadhu is coming, and what he will do is he will test us. Like Narada Muni is testing Dhruva. And there's many such tests also in the scriptures, and I would like to tell a few of them. One test happened to Krishna himself. He went to Gurukul in Ujjain, Sandipani Muni's Gurukul, and sometimes the test is happening directly because the spiritual master wants to test you, and sometimes just the Supreme Lord arranges something so that you be tested. And in that case, Sandipani Muni, he gave the instruction to Krishna and his friend to go out in the forest and collect wood. At that time, no, they didn't have any central heating system, so they would collect wood to make fire. And they went out to the forest, and when they were out, a big storm came. And the storm got so big that they actually they couldn't really come home. And they also didn't want to go home because they felt we have to collect wood. That's our task, and we don't have to wood. And they were out the whole night in the rain, in the storm. And Sandi Panimuni was at home in the ashram, and he realized what's happening, that they are still out. So he got very worried. And then after the storm stopped, they went out and they found Krishna. And Sandi Panimuni was so pleased with them that he gave the blessing that all the knowledge of the scriptures is revealed in the heart immediately. Of course, Krishna doesn't need that. He's the origin of all the scriptures, but it sets an example that if we please the Guru, then he will bless us in that way. And what does it mean? Sometimes we are tested. Can we tolerate pain? Can we tolerate inconveniences in our own life? Because spiritual life means we try to situate ourselves on the spiritual platform and not on the bodily, physical platform. And sometimes we are tested in that way. Do we really want to be on that platform, or are we attached on the material platform? Another example is again in Srila Prabhupada's life. He had one disciple who is still alive. His name is Giriraj Swami, who joined in the United States. He grew up in the United States, and he was the son of a very wealthy man. And like most parents, when their children come to the Hare Krishna movement, they were not happy. So Giriraj was not only, some that I'm not saying that in a way that it's condescending, but he was not only coming once a week on a Sunday and going home again, but he actually left home and immediately joined the ashram. He was very committed. He became a monk. And the parents continuously tried to bring him back home. Okay, you do this thing, but you can do it from home. Why to be so extreme? You can be at home, you be with us. And this went on for many, many weeks and months. And at one point, the father was very wealthy. He didn't have any other choice. He thought, okay, let me offer my son $1 million. And he offered his son, I will give you $1 million if you leave the temple and come home. And then they went to see Srila Prabhupada personally. They met him, the parents, and told him also, Srila Prabhupada, please, you are the spiritual master. You should send, I don't know his legal name, but Giriraj home. And Prabhupada knew about the $1 million offer. And Prabhupada was laughing. He said, you're trying to bring him home, and I also not keeping him here. I told him, if you like, you can go, but he doesn't want to go. What can I do? So Giriraj Maharaj, he got a test. I don't know how many of us would be willing to renounce $1 million just to continue serving the spiritual master, which we know his circumstances. He was in India. They would sleep on the floor. They didn't have a building most of the time. They had to, go through so much struggle. But he preferred that to $1 million. So these tests are coming, and we heard here why these tests are coming, because the spiritual master, he will try to give us something, but in order to, like if you go to university, you need to make a test. You have to qualify yourself, because otherwise everybody will end up being at the university, and maybe most of them are not really qualified. So it's like a selection process, which is natural. And we can pass this test by being determined. So Druva Maharaj, he was determined. He told Narada Muni, very nice he actually said, very polite. He said, Narada Muni, your words are very wise, but somehow they don't resonate in my heart. Somehow I cannot accept them. I want to go to the forest and practice spiritual life, so you please help me. And Narada Muni was of course very pleased. And he could see Druva Maharaj is qualified. So then he started to instruct him. He started to explain to him how he should, how he should practice spiritual life. And Druva Maharaj, he had actually a very clear desire. I can read it to you, so you know what he wanted. Druva Maharaj said to Narada Muni, O learned Brahmana, I want to occupy a position more exalted than any yet achieved within the three worlds by anyone. Even by my fathers and grandfathers. So his father was the king of the whole world. His grandfather was actually Brahma, the creator of the whole universe. If you will oblige, kindly advise me of an honest path to follow by which I can achieve the goal of my life. It's interesting, an honest path. Nowadays, we try to become successful by hook and by crook. Again, I'm often saying, because we are on YouTube and we don't have the paid subscription, so then all the time the advertisement comes and they will say, you want to be rich in 5,000, in 1 month, do this and do that. And so you can feel it's by hook and by crook, just somehow want to get rich. Don't matter how you cheat someone, you just get rich. But Druva is very, as we said, Sukriti, he's pious. He's asking, give me the honest way how I can reach the goal. Druva Maharaj's karma was such that he could not achieve that position. He could not. He was the son of Uttanapad, but he had a stepbrother who was the one who was supposed to be following his father's footsteps. So he didn't have the karma to reach the position he wanted. And he could not change that karma by any material process. Your karma is given. You cannot change it, whatever you do. But here he's fortunate, and that's why he said in his verse, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddham. Because the sadhu will do something very important and interesting. He will, even though you have a material desire which is actually not really good, but he will tell you, okay, just ask the Lord, because he is the origin of everything. The sadhus, they are not foolish as we are, and I'm including myself, because based on the Vedic understanding, the living entities in this world are foolish. We try to get something in this world which we actually have naturally in our relationship with the Supreme Lord, because He's the proprietor, He's the creator of everything. It's like being the son of a rich man and leaving home and going out on the streets for begging something, a little bit of coins. That's the situation described we are in. But the sadhus, they understand that whatever desire you have, everything that is nice and beautiful and something that you would like to have, the Lord is actually the source, and that's why you should always go there. And Narada Muni, he says in a very beautiful words, any person who desires the fruits of the four principles, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and at the end liberation, should engage himself in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead for worship of His lotus feet, yields the fulfillment of all these. So they know any desire you have, the Supreme Lord is the one who can fulfill it. Maybe your karma is such that you cannot fulfill a desire, but if you really want, you go to the Lord and He can do it. So he will start to instruct, and Narada Muni told him very clearly, you do this, you don't do this. You do this, you don't do this. That's what they do. They want to tell us how we can come to the stage of meeting the Lord personally. And this could sound like, you have to make a long, big journey and it's very troublesome, and it's troublesome. But it's actually not something external, but they just try to change our consciousness. Because the Lord is already present. everything we are surrounded with is the Lord's energy. The Lord is in our heart. No, we are in the heart, and the Lord is in our heart. He's so close to us, but our problem is we cannot see Him. We don't have the consciousness. So the sadhu is like a doctor. He's just curing that disease in our consciousness, trying to teach us how we can again see Him. And he's doing that by teaching us the process of surrender. And it is said, somebody who is following the process of surrender, the Supreme Lord will listen to all his prayers, but only to this person. So one has to be surrendered. Meaning, what means surrender? Surrender means you know that the Lord is the only one who can help you, and nothing else. That's the mood. So they will instruct us in many ways. And if we read how Druva got instructed, we will probably feel like, I cannot do that. It's very difficult, because he had to go to the forest, be alone. He reduced his diet until he finally stopped eating completely. Then he stopped drinking. Then he stopped breathing. You are a yogi, so you know that this is possible. In the Vedic scriptures, we learn that you can stop breathing also. And he followed that, and he reached the perfection. And in our case also, the sadhu, he will give us instructions, but he will give us something we can follow. And he will also tell, you chant Hare Krishna, you read the scriptures, and this and that. And one particular thing he will do is he will try to teach us how we can surrender to the Lord. And he will give us some particular instructions. So it's not that we can say in a lecture what we have to do. We need personal guidance. Like if you have a disease, you need to go to the doctor. He has to see what's your disease. And the sadhu is very expert in seeing what is your disease. Or basically, how do you not see Krishna in your life? How are you not Krishna conscious? And then the instruction can be very different. And also I would give a few examples. We have Raghunath Goswami is one example, and these are all pure souls, but they give us some example. Usually we think that spiritual life means I renounce everything I live, and Raghunath Goswami also he wanted to do that, but the Lord told him, no, you go home. You know, it's kind of contradictory. In one sense, they say you should go, but he could see that it's not mature. It's not a pure desire. So that's what the sadhu will do. He will see how we cheat ourselves and then give an instruction in order to overcome the tendency. Also in Srila Prabhupada's life, Brahmananda, he joined Srila Prabhupada and the movement, and he was working at the time, and then he told Srila Prabhupada, I will give up the job because it's just a karmic job. Prabhupada told him, no, you go and work, and you give your money to me. He could see that Brahmananda, he wanted to escape, so he could see and change that. So the sadhu will do that. And I will not go into detail, but the question is, how can we follow the instructions of the sadhu? Because he will give us instructions, and like Druva Maharaj, one has to perfectly follow the instructions in order to attain the goal. And in the scriptures we find it's a very simple formula. Simply if somebody has full faith in the spiritual master, and the spiritual master will give instructions which are not so easy sometimes. Which we feel like I cannot do this. And in the Bible also Jesus Christ said, if you just have a faith like a mustard seed, then you can move mountains. So the faith is actually what is changing your destiny. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yakripatamaham mandeshi guru dinataranam. This is a verse in the Vedic scriptures. If you have faith in the Guru, you can, a blind man, a lame man can cross the mountain and somebody who is dumb can speak. That's the power of faith in the Holy person. And Druva Maharaj, I'm just winding it up now. Druva Maharaj, he achieved the perfection. He got the meeting, the darshan of the Supreme Lord. He came, he appeared in front of him. And it's a beautiful description in the Bhagavatam how the Supreme Lord appeared, and Druva Maharaj, he started to offer prayers. And I'm going to read now one prayer to you, and I guess this is the most important lesson today. Because the Lord told Druva, okay, I know you want something, now you ask me what you want. I will grant anything you want. And Druva Maharaj said, "O my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons, and kings to attain. I was searching after a piece of glass, but instead I have found the most valuable jewel. Therefore, I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." And that's what we should understand. We have so many desires. Again, we are like foolish in a way. We go out to beg on the street, but if we just turn, we have an intimate relationship with the Lord. And he's comparing these two pieces of glass to a valuable jewel. Which piece of glass you see in the street, nobody cares. But a jewel is a jewel. It's valuable. So we can take lessons from Druva Maharaj's life, and let us not be, too. We have material desires, but then let's do it like Druva. We just fully focus on Krishna and ask him to help us, to make us happy, to give us success in life. And by doing that, Srila Prabhupada also explains, we will become purified. The sadhu, he will give us the cure. By, on one hand, we get purified and cured, but at the same time, we also get what we want. And Druva Maharaj, he became the most influential person in the whole universe. It is said in the Vedic scriptures that Druva Maharaj, he is residing on the pole star. Sounds a little bit mystical now, but we believe that on other planets also there is life. And the pole star is actually that planet in this universe which is fixed. Everything else is constantly moving, and he got that place. And for Druva Maharaj, it was a big tapasya, austerity, because he didn't want anymore. But still, and the Lord said, you asked for it, now you need to take it. So thank you very much for your attention. We can end here now. And those who like, the prasadam is being served. And if somebody has a question, please feel free to ask. Yes, Pastor.
How do you define success from a Vedic point of view?
Good question. So success, from a material perspective, how we would explain what is success in a materialistic, for a materialist, it means the fulfillment of desires. So if I have a desire and it's fulfilled, then I'm successful. But the problem is our desires, if they are not good, they will not bring ultimate fulfillment. But then I guess the question is what is actual real success? And we heard in Druva Maharaj's story, the real success is when we attain the Supreme Lord, because he's the source of everything we call success in life. Everything we desire comes from him. So when we attain him, then automatically all our desires are fulfilled. And we are really fulfilled. We hear in Bhagavad Gita, at that time, we will not have any hankering anymore. No lamentation or hankering. no matter what situation I'm in, materially speaking, I don't care. Because I know I have a relationship with the Lord. And that's really success from a Vedic point of view. Anything else?
Probably just a small comment, no question.
Yes.
We call it Dhruv in our country, in India, we call it Dhruv Tara. So we really call it Dhruv, the star, the whole star as Dhruv in India. So even the kids, the elders, everybody, we name few different stars, we have names for them, and one star is called Dhruv star. So,
Which is the whole star.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because it's true.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Please, you're invited to take prasadam. 6:15 there will be again program in the classroom. You can learn to chant in the prayers. And 7 o'clock there is the Gora Arati and the Kirtan till 9:30. Be careful if you walk out of the door. There is some bicycles.
We also have it live streamed on YouTube with the cameras, and you can watch